fact that I had recently moved back to my parents' house, a very suffocating place, as you can imagine. And I had taken to spending more and more time in my room, sitting, looking out the window, in silence. I had saved up some money, so I decided to take a trip to Europe. To remain in this silence, remain attentive, and to pass through worlds and languages that were not mine. I wanted to sit on the trains, my ankles touching, in silence. So a few weeks before I leave, I had the idea I would love to spend a night in a monastery in Germany. So I emailed a few monasteries to see if someone who speaks a little English could help me out. And Father Albert responds from Holy, a Catholic abbey in the town of Holy in West Germany. He says, I speak English. You're welcome to come. Just send over your CV. Thank you for your response. I'm just planning on spending like one night. I'm just traveling. Do you still need my CV? Oh, I'm sorry, I misunderstood. I thought you were interested in joining our order. I understand. No, it's 25 euros for the night, including meals. Just let us know what time you're going to arrive, and the nearby train station is on Prelude. The day before I'm supposed to arrive, I emailed him to say, I'm going to arrive at 6:30. He's out of there. But the day of, I arrived at 7:30 because of delays. I'm feeling really bad. I don't have a phone number for Father Albert. We arrive in the train station, a few people exit with me. The sun is setting, and the station is very dim. At the top of the staircase, I see a little man holding a sign with my name on it. So I run up to him and I'm like, oh man, I'm so sorry. There were delays, no problem. Shakes my hand, smiles to me. 15 minutes later, we arrive at Toll, one of these big iron gates. And when he opens up the front door, he drops to a whisper. He says, when you open a door here, close it behind you immediately. He closed it behind us. He asked me in the car if I were hungry. I said yes. So he said, I'll take you to the refectory, but first I'll show you the chapel right here. He opens the door, closes it behind us. Nobody inside. It's just some lit candles. He stands back. I marvel. Opens the door, closes the door behind us. We walk along this curved hallway, come to the refectory, opens the door, closes the door, sets me down at the table, opens the door, closes the door. So now, I'm in the refectory, alone. Two tall windows, sunlight coming in, one long wooden table on each wall, and one painting on each wall. I haven't seen anybody since I left the train station in Cantalupo. Not in the car right here, not in the grounds, not in the chapel, not in the hallways. The monks must be sleeping or getting ready for bed. What private opens the door, closes the door, comes in, sets down a glass bottle of water, opens the door, closes the door. I feel like I have to sit with better posture in this place. to get to my chair, put my feet on the floor. Open the door, close the door, comes in, sets down a blue porcelain plate with steaming noodles, a toasted slice of bread with some cheese on it, a smaller blue porcelain plate with another cheese, very creamy, and a slice of something called evokes, which I had a lot in Germany. It literally means liver cheese, and it's sort of like a bologna meatloaf. It tastes much better. It sounds. Apple, some yogurt. He goes over to the door, opens it, and he says, by the way, that in the corner is an original carpaccio. Close the door. So where's heaven? Open the door, close the door, comes and takes my place, open the door, close the door. He opens the door and he says, I'll take you to your room now. Close the door behind us. At the top of 2 flights of stairs is a bathroom, and a room next to the bathroom where Father Albert says a priest is currently staying. And there's another traveler staying further down the hallway. He hands me my keys. He wishes me good night. Inside the room there was a simple wooden bed, a kneeler for prayer, also wooden, a circular table wooden with a glass bottle of water, a wooden desk and a chair wooden with a Bible, a book of prayers, a schedule of prayers, slanted roof, the sunlight coming in, the sun has almost set. Eu comecei a me perguntar, enquanto olhava para o Father Albert, e se eu tivesse crescido no Brasil, em Salvador, Recife ou Bauru, eu vi eu mesmo na rua, de bermuda amarela, sem camiseta, caçando passarinho. É claro, com meu irmão mais novo. Nosso pai usava calças pregueiadas, cintos elegantes, camisas brancas, com mangas curtas, golas largas. E seu cabelo estava grisanhando nas têmporas. Eu frequentava a escola, Salvador, Recife, Bauru. Na aula de inglês, quando tinha, 10 anos, conhecia uma garota de Lisboa. Gente, brincava com sotaques diferentes. Ela tinha sartas. Acho que era meu primeiro grande amor, né? Aprendi sobre Cabo Verde, Moçambique, Angola. Aqueles países africanos que também falam essa nossa língua. Mas eu não conhecia alguém desses países até que eu fiz uma viagem sozinho para a Europa. Eu fiz essa viagem que começou em Roma para ficar silencioso, né? Escutar, passando por mundos e línguas que não eram meus. Em Roma, decidi visitar as catacumbas de Calisto, onde os cristãos enterravam seus mortos. Peguei um ônibus. Era um dia quente. Peguei um ônibus pelas curvas da Via Ápia. Cheguei lá às 2. E quando cheguei ao balcão de ingressos, eu falei em inglês com bastante sotaque. Is there a tour in português? Ele falou que sim. Me indicou onde eu devia esperar. Enquanto eu esperava, conheci 2 mulheres brancas de São Paulo. Elas me perguntaram de onde eu vinha. Respondi: Salvador, Recife, Bauru. Aí chegou nosso guia. Fiquei sabendo que o nome dele era Nelson. E o Nelson era de Angola. Aí depois do tour, depois de me despedir das mulheres paulistanas, eu fiquei com o Nelson. Debaixo da telhadinho, perto da entrada das catacumbas, na sombra. Gente, olhava os turistas entrando, saindo, suando, enchendo suas garrafas de água. The cypresses, tall and still. O Nelson encostou-se numa beira do portão e me falou sobre sua irmã mais nova, que gostava de dançar o samba. Você tem irmãos?
Tenho, mais novo, mas a gente não tá se falando agora, não. Cypresses are so tall. Talk to him, he said. Com uma intimidade que nós dois sabíamos que criamos.
behind the shuffling is that James is actually in Spain right now, but he is on Skype, and we're gonna talk. So give us a second, and we'll plug him in. Hey James, can you hear us?
What a cutie. Let's see. Let's get this tape up. Thank you. Okay, so let's see. And I think the speakers are actually USB and we'll try that. I think that should be it.
Hey. Hey, can you hear us? Oh, we can't hear you, but I can see. Maybe he can just mime.
Hello, hello. Testing. Hey, hey.
Can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Hi. Okay.
Perfect.
Um,
Hey there.
Thank you guys so much for doing this.
Oh yeah.
Can we, I'm just going to jump in because we don't have much time, but can you start, let's just leave it and give us a little bit of context and background of where what we saw tonight falls into the bigger scope of your collaboration and of Aaron Marie, and maybe describe like what it is and what your collaboration looks like.
Yeah. Are you start, Jerome?
Okay. I'm going to raise your volume a little bit. So, Aaron Marie is a piece that James and I have been writing for about a year now, almost coming up on a year. And it is a piece where this basically happens with two people. James and we like to think of it as the music and the storytelling intertwine as they did here. So sometimes the music will take the forefront in the story, sometimes the words will. And what's really fun about it is we try to find creative ways to use both the music and the lyrics together. And James and I have been working together.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. And we had like the first piece that we did where we were working with this was called Narrator. Just me playing the piano and getting stories and melodies.
So where did Aaron Marie started? It's essentially a novel that you're
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, I guess. But like, I don't know that it will ever actually be a novel that one can take and read. But definitely, I think Jerome and my collaboration, we had been, college kids screwing around making music is sort of where we started, and everything we made was pretty unlistenable to anyone but us. And I think I majored in theater. but I felt like I was supposed to have majored in writing, and Jerome majored in music and composition, and I think also felt like he was probably supposed to have majored in writing. And we're both book nerds, and I think our collaborations took off, for us at least. We started loving it when we brought books into the room. And so the goal has always been create the experience we love in reading, but in a social environment, so that it's not just a spectacle happening in one person's mind, but sort of a shared mental spectacle that everyone gets to take part in, is the idea. Yeah, so... Yeah, so Erin Marie specifically, if I can take this. Yeah, so Erin Marie specifically came about because everything we had done before was very tight, and we knew exactly how long it was going to be, and the goal was that the audience was never bored. And the goal with this show, I think, was to make something more sprawling. And we had been reading a lot of books by authors who were very sprawling, and Roberto Bolaño and Javier Marias and W.G. Sebald and Isaac Dinesen, and writers who weren't afraid to leave stories unfinished and to take tangents and to be discursive. And for this reason, I think, with this show, Erin Marie, it's based around a few main characters, but largely we're just sort of letting it go where it goes. And so we make a chapter at a time, so what you saw tonight was one chapter. What we did at Under the Radar's Incoming and Show's Pub was like 3 to 5 other chapters, and we're just sort of making them, and we'll see how they fit together, I guess, maybe one day. Yeah. Yeah. And I think we're about to say the same thing, so you can say it because you are. Yeah. Yeah. And I think in figuring out where the landing is, we also know there's going to be a process of learning which chapters actually make the arc, which we have some sense of, but also, especially these ones that Jerome and I are building solo, sort of I'm working on them while I'm in Spain and Madrid, and Jerome is working on some there, the knowledge that those may just be like short stories that you have to come to Prelude, or you have to go to various other places to catch sort of these side stories that open up the same ideas and continue the journey, but aren't part of the full evening night arc. Yeah.
then you are away and experience not being able to collaborate. What is happening?
Am I taking this? Is that what's happening? Okay. Okay, so I do think two of the goals, yeah, I mean, for me intentionally, at least in my writing process, and I know Jerome is actually the same way, we both tend to work on things for a really long time. And I can't speak to things from a composing music perspective really, but I know from a character perspective, when I make a story or when I'm working on it, I sort of feel like if normally I write about 60% of a story and then I'm sort of haunted by it for a really long time and I write a million endings and it takes me a long time to figure out what would probably take the characters a long time to figure out or to process or to settle. So I think a goal going into this was yeah, there's so many, I think this is a show of a lot of ideas, and I think it's got the most ideas of any show we've ever done, and we reference all the nerdy things that we've been afraid to reference before, and we're like not afraid to be open about the fact that we're thinking a lot about contemporary literature and travel and history, and these are things that I want to be thinking about for a long time, so I'm in no hurry, and I want to be surprised when I find the ending of it and not to have murdered it in trying to find its ending. I think for me, and then the travel, I think, is part of that. Travel, it's a show largely about travel. It's a show about meeting people who are very different from you. It's a show about feeling connected to people across very long distances in moments where time collapses and where space collapses. And for me, the time apart from each other and sort of letting it simmer while we both explore our own work, part of the same work, is, to me, a helpful part of that. I have faith that the ending will arise before we die.
But I'm sure that you would love to stick around in the lobby and talk to you if you have any thoughts.
And I'll be... Bye.